First Samuel chapter 21. David runs for Saul. David went to the town of Nob to see Amalek the priest. Amalek trembled when he saw him. Why are you alone? He asked. Why is no one with you? The king has sent me on a private matter. David said. He told me not to tell anyone why I'm here. I've told my men where to meet me later. Now, what is there to eat? Give me 5 loaves of bread or anything else you have. We don't have any regular bread, the priest replied, but there is a holy bread which you can have if your young men have not slept with any women recently. Don't worry, they replied. I never allowed my men to be with women when we are on a campaign. And since they stay clean even on ordinary trip, how much more on this one? Since there was no other food available, the priest gave him the holy bread, the bread of the presence that was placed before the Lord in the tabernacle. It has just been replaced that day with fresh bread. Now, Doeg and Dormite, Saul's chief herdman, was there that day, having been detained before the Lord. David asked Amalek, do you have a spear or sword? The king's business was so urgent that I didn't even have time to grab a weapon. I only have the sword of Goliath the Philistine, who you killed in the valley of Elah. The priest replied, it is wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. Take that if you want it, for there is nothing else here. There is nothing like it, David replied. Give it to me. So David escaped from Saul and went to King Achish of Gath. But the officer of Achish was unhappy about his being there. Isn't this David the king of the land? They asked. Isn't he the one the people honor with dance and sing? Saul has killed his thousands, and David his 10,000s. David heard these commands and was very afraid that King Achish of Gath might do to him. So he pretended to be insane, scratching on the door and drawing down his beard. Finally, King Achish said to his men, Must you bring me a madman? We already have enough of them around here. Why should I let someone like this be my guest? Chapter 22. David at the cave of Adullam. So David left Gath and escaped the cave of Adullam. Soon his brother and all his other relatives joined him there. Then others began coming, men who were in trouble or in debt or who were just discontented, until David was the captain of about 400 men. Later David went to Mizpah in Moab, where he asked the king, Please allow my father and mother to live here with you until I know what God is going to do for me. So David's parents stayed in Moab with the king during the entire time David was living in his stronghold. One day the prophet Gad told David, Leave the stronghold and return to the land of Judah. So David went to the forest of Heres. The news of his arrival in Judah soon reached Saul. At the time, the king was sitting beneath the tamarisk tree on the hill at Gibeah, holding his spear and surrounded by his officers. Listen here, you men of Benjamin, Saul shouted to his officer when he heard the news. Has that son of Jesse promised every one of you filled the vineyard? Has he promised to make you all general and captain in his army? Is that why you have conspired against me? For not one of you told me when my own son made a solemn pact with the son of Jesse. You're not even sorry for me. Think of it. My own son encouraged him to kill me as he's trying to do this very day. Then Dej and the Amorite who was standing there with Saul's men spoke up. When I was at Nob, he said, I saw the son of Jesse talking to the priest, Amalek, son of Ahitub. Amalek consulted the Lord for him. Then he gave him food and the sword of Golishan the Philistine, the slaughter of the priest. King Saul immediately sent for Amalek and all his family, who served as priests at Nob. When they arrived, Saul shouted at him, "Listen to me, you son of Ahitub." "What is it, my king?" Amalek asked. "Why have you and the son of Jesse conspired against me?" Saul demanded. "Why did you give him food and a sword? Why have you consulted God for him? Why have you encouraged him to kill me, as he is trying to do this very day?" "But sir," Amalek replied, "is anyone among all your servants as faithful as David, your son-in-law? Why, he is the captain of your bodyguard and a highly honored member of your household. This was certainly not the first time I have consulted God for him. May the king not accuse me and my family in this matter, for I knew nothing or of any plot against you." "You will surely die, Amalek, along with your entire family," the king shouted. And he ordered his bodyguard, "Kill this priest of the Lord, for they are allies and comparator with David. They knew he was running away from me, but they didn't tell me." But Saul's men refused to kill the Lord's priest. Then the king said to Dag, "You do it." So Dag the Amorite turned on them and killed them that day, 85 priests in all, still wearing the priest's garment. Then he went to Nob, the town of the priests, and killed the priest's family, men and women, children and baby, and all the cattle, donkeys, sheep, and goats. Only Abiathar, one of the sons of Amalek, escaped and fled to David. When he told David that Saul had killed the priests of the Lord, David exclaimed, "I knew it. When I saw Dag the Edomite there that day, I knew he was sure to tell Saul. Now I have caused the death of all your father's family. Stay here with me and don't be afraid. I will protect you with my own life, for the same person wants to kill us both." Chapter 23. David protects the town of Keilah. One day news came to David that the Philistines were at Keilah, stealing grain from the threshing floors. David asked the Lord, "Should I go and attack them?" "Yes, go and save Keilah," the Lord told him. But David's men said, "We are afraid even here in Judah. We certainly don't want to go to Keilah to fight the whole Philistine army." So David asked the Lord again, and again the Lord replied, "Go down to Keilah, for I will help you conquer the Philistines." So David and his men went to Keilah. They slaughtered the Philistines and took all their livestock and rescued the people of Keilah. Now when Abiathar, son of Amalek, fled to David at Keilah, he brought the ephod with him. Saul soon learned that David was at Keilah. "Good," he exclaimed. "We've got him now. God has handed him over to me, for he has trapped himself in a walled town." So Saul mobilized his entire army to march to Keilah and besiege David and his men. But David learned of Saul's plan and told Abiathar the priest to bring the ephod and ask the Lord what he should do. Then David prayed, "O Lord, God of Israel, I have heard that Saul is planning to come and destroy the Keilah because I am here. Will the leader of Keilah betray me to him? And will Saul actually come as I have heard, or not? God of Israel, please tell me." And the Lord said, "He will come." Again David asked, "Will the leader of Keilah betray me and my men to Saul?" And the Lord replied, "Yes, they will betray you." David hides in the wilderness. So David and his men, about 600 of them now, left Keilah and began roaming the countryside. Word soon reached Saul that David has escaped, so he didn't go to Keilah after all. David now stayed in the stronghold of the wilderness and in the hill country of Ziph. Saul hunted him day after day, but God didn't let Saul find him. One day near Horesh, David received the news that Saul was on the way to Ziph to search for him and kill him. Jonathan went to find David and encouraged him to stay strong in his faith in God. "Don't be afraid," Jonathan assured him. "My father will never find you. You are going to be the king of Israel, and you will I will be next to you, as my father Saul is well aware. So the two of them renewed their solemn pact before the Lord. Then Jonathan returned home, while David stayed at Horesh. But now the men of Ziph went to Saul in Gibeah and betrayed David to him. We know where David is hiding, they said. He is in the stronghold of Horesh on the hill of Hakina, which is in the southern part of Jeshimon. Come down whenever you are ready, O king, and we will watch him and hand him over to you. The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you, Saul said. At last someone is concerned about me. Go and check again to be sure of where he is staying and who has seen him there, for I know that he is very crafty. Discover his hiding place and come back when you are sure. Then I will go with you, and if he is in the area at all, I will track him down, even if I have to search every hiding place in Judah. So the men of Ziph returned home ahead of Saul. Meanwhile, David and his men had moved into the wilderness of Maon in the Arabah valley south of Jeshimon. When David heard that Saul and his men were searching for him, he went even further into the wilderness to the great rock. And he remained there in the wilderness of Maon, but Saul kept after him in the wilderness. Saul and David were now on opposite side of a mountain. Just as Saul and his men began to close in on David and his men, an urgent message reached Saul that the Philistines were raiding Israel again. So Saul quit chasing David, has returned to fight the Philistines. Ever since that time, the place where David was camped has been called the Rock of Escape. David then went to live in the stronghold of En-gedi. Chapter 24. David spared Saul's life. After Saul returned from fighting the Philistines, he was told that David has gone into the wilderness of En-gedi. So Saul chose the 3,000 elite troops from all Israel and went to search for David and his men near the rocks of the wild goats. At the place where the road passed some sheepfold, Saul went into a cave to relieve himself. But as it happened, David and his men were hiding further back in that very cave. Now's your opportunity, David's men whispered to him. Today the Lord is telling you, I will certainly put your enemy into your power to do with as your wish. So David crept forward and cut off a piece of the hem of Saul's robe. But then David's conscience began bothering him because he had cut Saul's robe. He said to his men, The Lord forbid that I should do this to my lord the king. I shouldn't attack the Lord anointed one, for the Lord himself has chosen him. So David restrained his men and did not let them kill Saul. After Saul had left the cave and gone on his way, David came out and shouted after him, My lord the king. And when Saul looked around, David bowed low before him. Then he shouted to Saul, Why do you listen to the people who say I'm trying to harm you? This very day you can see with your own eyes it isn't true, for the Lord placed you at my mercy back there in the cave. Some of my men told me to kill you, but I spared you. For I said, I will never harm the king, he is the Lord's anointed one. Look, my father, at what I have in my hand. It is a place of the hem of your robe. I cut it off, but I didn't kill you. This proves that I'm not trying to harm you and that I have not sinned against you, even though you have been hunting for me to kill me. May the Lord judge between us. Perhaps the Lord will punish you for what you are trying to do to me, but I will never harm you. As the old prophet said, from evil people come evil deeds, so you can be sure I will never hurt you. Who is the king of Israel trying to catch anyway? Should he spend his time chasing one who is as worthless as a dead dog or a single flea? May the Lord therefore judge which of us is right and punish the guilty one. He is my advocate.